Let's see here. Hold up, I'm just sharing the links real quick. I haven't had to share links out in a while. Alright, I think we're good. Alright, we should be good now. Let me move my... Oh, God. Let me move my mic. I'm, like, off to this side. I look so uncomfortable. I should really move my screens, too. Good morning, Alexis. Good to see you. Good morning, Ace. What's up, brother? Always good to see you, man. Good morning, friends and Optioneer. Good morning, King Carnage. Good morning, E. What's going on? What's going on? We're cool with no music today, right? I didn't really want to put music on. I didn't have time to go look for some decent non-copyright music for everybody, but I assume we're all good. Gotta love water. Again, if you guys are just not getting in here, make sure to go check the Discord as well. I already posted charts for SPY, NVIDIA, SPX, TTD, Tesla. Did I say NVIDIA yet? No, I don't think I did. NVIDIA. Plan to open a credit spread again on Meta. Last week I profited. Where's the extended fib from? It's just going from 635 up to the high here. And I was just honestly using it because I was just seeing it as new ground gained, but it's not a lot. And I was really just using it so I could find out some really, really close short-term targets here. But, and this is something else Ace had added onto as well. You could, I'm not going to delete that, I'm just going to leave it. But you could also go to your smaller time frames, and I was going to show this towards the end, right before market open, because I want people to understand how to do this on their own. Anytime you have a significant move up or down, it really doesn't matter, in the after hours from that previous day, and Ace alluded to this towards the end of yesterday in the Discord on Trade Floor, because he was just like doing a layup to me. Basically, he knew what he was doing, but basically you go from the previous day close, which would be the top of the close of that green candle there, to whatever our open is, which we don't really have one. But it's kind of funny because you probably could put it up here. I haven't really tested this, but I'm sure this is something, and there'd be targets there. But I just didn't want to put that on anybody, you know? But in any case, though, if you get a big move up or big move down from one day to the next, you can go from your previous day close to your next day's open, which it looks like in this case it really isn't going to be that beneficial just because of how much we pulled back down now. So the opening session is actually not going to be that far off of from where we closed on Friday. So nothing really crazy there, you know. But that is something you could throw on your screen. But I just wanted to go from last high to new high. That's all I did. And then it gave, or sorry, last high to new high. And it gave us these fib extensions. But these aren't like anything long term you're going to see me keep in my chart, because they are literally for today. They are for maybe even just a couple days for all we know. But I didn't want to like throw that up and scare everybody. But you can also check this stuff in the Discord and the Levels channel as well. I made sure to post this yesterday, very, very early, just because I wanted everybody to understand what the hell, what are the levels? I haven't been here in like 2 weeks, so I wanted everybody to understand what we're looking at. That is crazy, by the way. When I pull the chart up, it's 718. That's nuts. But yeah, that's all I have. Here's the bigger time frame, though, if you want the more macro look. I still have the same fib going from this high all the way down to this low. It gives us this 50% level here, very important. And then we have another one from here all the way down to the lows, and that gives us this 50% right here. And what I did, though, is all I did was highlight this, and you guys have seen this for months. You guys have known about this area. The next one we did was going from the low to where they popped up and made their first stop, and then they gave us another 50%, so we just highlighted the area. And right now we're kind of looking at this area the same way that we were looking at this area. You know, I'm kind of looking to be more bullish as long as we're above this. If we break it, definitely looking to see if we can take a nasty fall. We haven't quite done that yet, though. Today's actually going to be one of your first. Let me look before I say that. I don't want to lie. There's a lower open here. Okay, so this is the kind of day that we're going to be looking at, actually. This is a perfect look. Similar to this, maybe. Not really. But we have a nice move up. We're moving up into new highs. That's the same as this candle, right? No difference. But we're getting a lower open. So we're kind of looking at this scenario where, are we going to go down and test previous day low? Are we going to go down and break it and go down and fill a different level here? Again, if we look at that from this POV, holy crap. Here's the Friday's low, previous day low, the previous session's low. And we're going to be testing that. We're going to be possibly looking to see if we can get towards that or not. You can see we're nowhere near it right now. But we've set up that factor where, oh, we went up and then we failed to go back up again. So looks like we're going to test breaking previous day high. So it's actually a really simple game plan today. With the break or hold the previous day high, that gives you initial direction. So if we hold it, we're probably going to keep going up. Maybe test the lower high there in pre-market. Maybe go up and test the higher parts of pre-market. You can see how large pre-market is right now. A break of this can give us tests of previous day close. I don't know if I'd be super bearish trading from here to here. Right, I more see this as like a buffer zone in between these two levels, and it's not that wide, so it's not like it's that big of a deal for any trader. Any break of this, though, and that definitely picks up the pressure and selling, and can possibly give us the test of what. And everyone's going to look at this at first and say previous day low, but no, we have. Okay, let's zoom in for this one. Previous day halfway point. So I just go from the low to the high, and what do I have? Sorry, my voice is like having a rough time doing all that. Previous day halfway point. That would be our first target. A break of that. We can have the same exact conversation. Okay, we are going to keep pushing back down lower. Let's look towards previous day open / previous day low. So we really only have a couple levels that we can look at today. It's not that. It's really not that complicated. But yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions about the game plan on SPY. I'll move on to NVIDIA and Tesla for anybody who wanted to get an idea on those. But let me know how everything's going so far. Any questions before I move on? Excuse me. Any comments? Anything else to add on to that? Oil looks spicy. I did see you questioning why oil was moving. I didn't even look yet, I'll be honest with you. I just kind of took your word for it. What the hell? We got XP now? Yeah, y'all had it there before I took my break too, but I really don't understand it. And I've been in other people's streams, like, not for trading, for literally other things. And I've noticed that too, and I was just really confused. It's something stupid YouTube's implementing. They'll add this, but they won't let you guys type, like, I don't know. There's like pictures or something or gifs, like anything. Like, why give us more? Does water have a taste? Yeah, it tastes like hydration. Get wrecked. I've been using the fibs for gap days, and they work extremely well. Just wondering where yours was from. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're fine. It just came from that 635. But does anybody have any questions or comments or remarks, anything about this before I move on? Because this was pretty simple, so I don't think you guys will. I don't think it was that crazy, you know? And then let's go over NVIDIA and Tesla, because these are probably my two favorite picks. The reason I like NVIDIA the most, well, actually, both of them, is because they're bigger time frames. We have old fib extensions, old levels up here. This is all-time highs. But they've gotten up to this point, and they do look a little tired. Here's that high from the left side, the recent high. They kind of struggled there on that last session. If you go over to today's smaller time frames, they haven't pushed under that level yet. It's right here. This is the halfway point of previous day. So I'm kind of looking to see if we do break this, and I typed this in the chat already. Do we get a 90% entry? Because that would genuinely be exactly what pops up here for buyers to retake this again. Your liquidity grab, your loss, and retake of level. That would be beautiful to see for buyers back over that level again. That's actually very popular to do over those old recent highs. So something that I'd also like to see, besides just the obvious, well, if it breaks or retest away from this is going down to this level, I mean, that's like, no shit. You know, we all know that. I like to also bring up the not as obvious, you know, well, what happens if they don't retest? What happens if they do retake? There's actually a very good chance they do try to go smack that level again. So keep your eye on that previous day high in case you have a lot of action around here. So we are expecting a lot of movement around this level and possibly the, what? And possibly the 50%. So I'd be looking around both of these levels here for more movement on NVIDIA today. It does look a little exhausted, though, I'll be honest. And then Tesla has that same look. The only difference is they're actually like near their higher lows, so it doesn't look as bad from your bigger time frame POV. But they're definitely having some troubles here after their earnings. But it's cool because you can just add some super simple levels. I just went and I added the high to the open of that green candle. So it's just the supply of the previous day high. And then the previous day close. And that was it. And then we have that level from the bigger time frame. But it gives you a really good kind of barrier area to watch. You know, it's like, all right, well, I know to be bearish against that unless we pop back over it, which gives you good risk reward. Vice versa, same thing, exact same conversation right here. You know, you're thinking the exact same thing I just said, but right there at that level as well. And honestly, same thing here again. So just looking at three very high active areas, really. They just happen to be very well spaced out. So I like all three of those: NVIDIA, SPY, Tesla. If you guys have any other ones you want me to look at, sure, I'll check it out. But that's all I have right now. And then we posted some other stuff in chat too, so if you want to peep that, you can. But, yep, we're back here on SPY now. I'm going to fix this up a second, because, yeah, that's a lot. There we go. Oh, wrong chart. There we go. So this is basically just like this, but with a lot more added onto it just to make sure we understand every little thing. So I don't like to overly confuse people. I like to go over it at one time with a super simple breakdown and then come back to the chart that has everything on it. So if anybody has any questions or comments need to be added on to that, let me know. And yeah, market opens in about 1 minute and 49 seconds. To the second. And yeah, good morning, good morning. Good to see you. And thank you, Letter Buck. He actually like retweeted my stream. That's cool. Thank you. I don't know what made me reopen Twitter, but I did see that. Good morning. Good morning. Market opens in about 9 seconds. Strap in. Are we all good with no music, or do we need music? Is it too quiet in here when I'm not saying something? Market is open, and I do have for my scalp traders, I do have the SPY same day chain up on my right side screen, so I will be looking at quotes for anybody looking at the bid ask on SPY same days. These are for my crackhead scalp traders. I repeat, this is for my crackhead scalp traders. I think on stream callouts, and when I was calling out in the last couple streams, was pretty good, so I'm going to try to keep that going. I mean, it's okay to lose. It's just, I don't like to lose unless it makes sense. Which a lot of the time when we do lose in here, it most of the time makes sense, so it doesn't feel as bad, but it still sucks to lose. Already getting that liquidity grab at previous day high. We'll see if this candle even holds again. It doesn't really matter because we're in the first minute, but still nice to see a green candle pop up at previous day high, at least if it's even only an initial reaction. Even just that initial reaction is kind of cool to see. Also be switching back and forth between Nvidia. As you can see, they are producing a Hulk candle, and Tesla. If you guys have any other charts you want me to check out, let me know. The more I have this crap on, the more I want to take it off. Oh, God, that is so much easier to look at. I'm sorry. I think looking at extended hours information, like actually watching it, I think is actually a waste of your time. Now, seeing it, understanding it, checking it out, before open, that's cool. I understand that. Wanting to get a grip on what's around you, that's fine. But I think staring at that stuff is a waste of time. People will sit there and lie to you too and be like, yeah, man, I totally use that. There's just so much volume. No, there isn't. There's not any volume. The whole point of it. We are seeing now some struggle against that previous day high. We saw that initial reaction like we saw in that green candle, and we're already seeing them lose that level again. So very indecisive open. We know that because there's legs on each side of this candle. We got a very small body candle, so there's no decision making being made here yet, but at least it's in a high impact area. Previous day high. And that's really what you want to have charted a lot of the time, are high impact areas. I don't care how you get them. People like to use indicators. People like to use levels. People like to use random methods that get them good levels, kind of like us. We just use methods that we think work because we practiced them a bunch and then we just do them over and over again. Just repetition. Still seeing some struggle against that high, like we said. Very indecisive candle on this first 5-minute candle at the open. If you guys are in the YouTube stream, be sure to drop a like. It has been a while since I've had to say that. Drop a like, though. Help the stream out a little bit. But thank you, guys. We got almost 20 people in here already. Good to see you all. Good morning. Good morning, Matty Ice. Always good to see you. Oh, sorry. I had the messages on top chat. That's why it's moving around like that. Mom. Did you say mom or mourn? Oh, that says mourn. I had to get really close to read that. What the hell? I was like, who's he calling mom? When losing makes sense, winning makes dollars. Damn. Dr. J just came in here to drop some bars. Hold up, let me pin that. There you go. Now everybody can read that heat-seeking missile when they get into the stream. Let me move my mic up a little. I gotta like shove it in my face. There we go. Alright, so we're still seeing some indecision against that previous day high. There's no real new updates. Let's go check out some other charts real quick. Let's see what else. Nvidia saying fuck you to the bears. First candle of the day. So they already gave themselves a little bit of room. See if they can continue or build off of that. If not, that's going to really put an awkward momentum into that chart. We see the higher open already draw back down, pretty much already filling all this stuff, just sitting around previous day close right now on Tesla. We should probably throw some lower levels up on that chart, shouldn't we? Damn, the halfway point's really close to that previous day close. Let's just leave it like that. And maybe mark this. There we go. Alright, so now we have an understanding on where that's going to fall more from. And where it can fall to. I'm also kind of keeping that higher low on that left side in my head in case it does fall down there. Tech is getting movement up. Small caps are just kind of settling. I wouldn't really say they're doing a whole lot. They're kind of doing the exact same thing as SPY. Just indecision. Might be a good day to watch your individual equities here right at the open. Which, and your individual equities, that's what a lot of these are. That's what all of these are, actually. Except that one. Let's see what your sectors say. Tech is up. Banks are down. Discretionary is slightly up if we're talking from previous day. Healthcare, barely down. Comms, barely up. Staples, down a pretty good amount. That's notable information. That staples are down. There is no rotation into staples right now. Intraday, at least, from what we can see. Which I'd be wondering, because I haven't been here. Okay, they're just still here. They have not moved. Energy is an interesting one. This is one that you guys should all keep on watch. Your XLE chart. This one's very interesting, and it looks like it's just going to keep pushing, you know. And I genuinely would watch a lot of your individual weights for this sector, XOM, any kind of big oil company, stuff like that. And then you have your smaller ones that aren't really big weights, but are very, very important. I think this is the best energy company anyone can look at. I still, to this day, promote this to pretty much anyone in my group. I still believe this is probably the best energy stock you can get. So if you guys are interested in that long term, I think this is one of the better ones you can be in. But that's up to you. That's up to your decision. I can't, of course, tell you what to do or what to invest in. But this is definitely one of my favorite ones, and it has been for a very long time. Anybody in my group who's known me for a long time knows this is probably the safest energy pick you can find. And they have an amazing dividend, so not much to complain about on that one. But yeah. I go back to SPY after all that, and we are still right here. I guess I could bring up contract conversation. If we lose this area, head towards 637s and push under that towards that 636.30s barrier, could definitely be looking at the 637 and 636 same-day contracts on SPY. Both are very cheap, very affordable. If we do get a good hold and push above this area, though, could be looking at the 639 contract or 638s. I like both of those. So we'll see what we get here, but now we have contracts in our heads in case things start moving soon. Indecisive candle on our first candle, seeing a little bit of a push away from that resistance as it is right now on the second candle. I'm also going to be bringing up the briefing website in case we get any good updates from that. Why is that website messing up for me? Oh, there it is. Cool. We are getting some push away from that resistance. No news Mondays. There is some news. But no, I was looking at that briefing side. I was just seeing if they're going to have anything new for us. But there's a lot. We are already getting a pretty much test of that previous day close away from the previous day high, which we kind of expected. As long as we remained under this area, we kind of expected to at least push towards that. Now we'll see, does it pick up from here? Because if we can get a second break of an area, that's definitely looking good for sellers. Continued sign for sellers. We're already seeing some seller strength that would pick up on it. But this could be also seen as a buffer zone. This is why I said this earlier in the stream. So just be very careful. Yo, good morning, Ayala Bros. I can never tell what everyone's profile pic is because of YouTube. You use Forex Factory. It's simple for a... Come on, lag. You gotta be better about that. You're not a plebe. And if anybody has any questions about any game plans we've talked about up to this point, just ask. We've mainly covered SPY, Apple. SPY. Why did I say Apple? SPY, NVIDIA, Tesla. There we go. Making more sense now. We went over the sectors. We went over a lot, honestly. So you could skim around the stream as well if you need to. But SPY levels looking all right still so far. Bit of a indecisive open into a little bit of a pullback into that previous day close. But now, even then, we're kind of chilling there. Like I said, probably seeing this as a buffer zone between our previous day close and our previous day highs. Nothing crazy. We do have some movement, though, in the market. We saw Meta get a pretty crazy move up. We saw NVIDIA get a pretty crazy move up. NVIDIA is already back to square one, basically. Still holding over that 174.25, though, I would like to add. So pretty high impactful area. That's from the bigger time frame. That's this level right here. That's this one. And then we have Tesla. So Tesla, a little bit of a higher open. Already ruined that square one. And now we're just still chilling here. Really nothing crazy to talk about on that one. Very indecisive, consolidating very heavily. You could feel the pressure picking up. We know that because it's just squeezing its ass off. Candle inside a candle. Still holding at the same area. So yeah, that's the gist of what we've gone over. If anybody has any questions or wants to add anything onto that, let me know. I'm also watching same-day contracts on the SPY chart. I already talked about which contracts we're looking at. So if anybody has any questions, just ask. Fun to see you streaming again. Thank you, man. I'm going to try to be back on top of it again. I'm just happy my wisdom tooth is out, honestly. Actually, I'm glad I said that. I need to take... Here's pill bottle rattle. Need to take some medicine for that, actually. Q's tried to pump again, but they are losing now. All right, good mention. Yeah, thank you for bringing that up because I did just look at that. They were going up. I've been switching around charts since then. That's a good update. I'm going to head out. Need to spend $2K on a suit that I am only going to wear on my wedding. Oh, okay. Well, it's your wedding, though. Good shopping, man. Try not to break the bank. When is he getting married? Did he say in the chat? Lucky bastard, I need all Oh, 4 of mine extracted. I don't know why at first when I read that, I thought that said I need all 40 of mine extracted. I'm over here like, damn, bro has to get his whole mouth fixed. He meant all 4 of his wisdom teeth. My bad. You're kind of... how old are you, Maddie? Maddie Clams? You made it pretty far if that's how... because they told me I was kind of old for someone getting a wisdom tooth pulled out. I was like, really? I said normally you're like a lot younger when they take them out. Yeah, so yeah, you're like me. I'm 29. Like I said though, guys, the buffer zone is holding still, so be very careful in case we do get that pop back over. But we have seen some initial pullback. We were also just informed. Oh wait, tech is pulling back up again. They were pulling back right when Tobias said it. They're pushing back up again, new highs. Nvidia might be home free. I really thought that one was going to be shitty. It's proving me wrong. Honestly, Nvidia, why I'm typing right now, Nvidia is a really good example of why you plan for both sides. This is why I do that. That is exactly why. Because there was a very small amount of time you should have been bearish on Nvidia, but like, who's gonna trade that at open? So it's kind of fun to see that it's sitting above it and then re-invalidating again over that. So we'll see if we get any more from that, but it's just kind of fun at the open right now that we are seeing that. It's happening on Tesla too. It's like, oh, we're setting you up for bears. Just kidding. So it's kind of funny that a lot of our buffer areas are holding very well. I say funny. Some of you might think it's boring. But it's better to be right than losing money. It's better to be right and sitting on your hands, bored out of your mind, than losing money. Which I hate when people have that fear too, because it's like you shouldn't be scared of being bored. You know, if you're making mistakes because you're bored, you're not taking this seriously. If you're just jumping into trades because too much time has gone by, or you're bored, you don't like the chart, that's kind of on you. It's not really on anyone else. Oh, my bad. Let's remove the X so we don't scare people. Because you can definitely take some shorts against the previous day high. I was just saying that it looks better once you also get that invalid or that push under this level as well. So I don't want to scare somebody and think that they can't trade between there. I don't think you should, but I just believe it definitely picks up pace once it's under both. Right now we're only under one. Hopefully that makes sense. I can't type. There we go. And yeah, if you guys are in the YouTube stream, drop a like. If you guys have anything else you want to say or add on to or ask questions, just throw it out there. It's mostly a safe place. Safe space, I should say. Underline mostly. What's up, React? Good morning, man. Good to see you. Always good to see React. I love their product. LOL debit card with 100% exposure to S. So when you use money, they take some out. Okay, Ace, you are not 16. You are full of shit. He said, and dentist just said I had to get my wisdom teeth out somehow. The way it grew to my right side and not left. Yeah, that's weird. That's how mine is though. I had like one wisdom tooth do like the whole like X-ray, and one was like sideways. All the other ones were fine. It's like, huh? The hell's going on down there? We're all good though. You took a month off yourself. Good. I saw a few of you take a break too, which I'm not really even mad about. I'm happy y'all did because I was on my long ass break, so I'm glad to see some of you took advantage. I saw you did. I saw one of the Maddies did. Maybe even both Maddies for all I know. And a few other traders in chat, which I had some people message me their portfolios, and they're like, yo, I'm not really trading as heavily, but check out this. And they'd show me like all their shares, and I'm like, damn, like, and I told every single person the same exact thing while I was gone. If they sent me their portfolio, I'd be like, dude, this is trading. Like, you don't need to be sitting here options trading every freaking day. Like, you need to be putting some of these stocks under your belt. So I'm honestly just so happy for most of the chat because I know most of them have taken advantage of that. Whether it be a stock pick we did together, whether it be one they found on their own, whether it was one they had before they met us, whether it's one they've had after they've met us, it doesn't matter. Just having that portfolio slowly build up is fucking awesome. And I definitely love that for any of the people in my chat because it's like, I don't know. You can always feel like that just awesome energy from them. Like they just really like investing slowly over time. They're not having to rely on short-term trading as much. Like it's kind of awesome. Collecting dividends, reinvesting, dollar cost averaging, just the small work over time builds up a giant. You took like 4 months off? It's probably needed then. Honestly, like some people are always, yo, I'm sorry I haven't been around much. I tell everybody the same thing. I'm like, dude, don't say sorry. Like it's perfectly fine. I think so many people have seen me not take breaks and then thought that, but now you guys have seen me take a shit ton of breaks this year, So you can see I'm mortal as well. We're all human. This is probably like the first year though I took any breaks. The first 4 or 5 years of this stuff, I just straight every day, no stopping. Whether it was streaming or posting in chat or just being around or one-on-oneing with somebody. But we're back. We had our breaks. We had our fun. It's time to go hard again. So yeah, expect a lot more streams. I don't know about videos though. I'll be honest. I have not been motivated to make any videos. After I made that last playlist for anybody who has access to it, which again, if you don't, all you need is either the YouTube membership or a Discord membership. But it's this huge playlist that I made over like a weekend or two. And it's fun. There's actually some funny bits in it because I had to record it twice because I'm dumb and I didn't actually record it the first time. So I had to do it a second time. But the whole playlist is really, really cool. It's all like the theoretical stuff within our strategy because so many people think, oh, you guys trade like this, oh, you guys trade like that. And it's like, dude, here, just watch these videos. They come back to me, they're like, oh, you're right. This isn't like any other strategy. Yes, we throw up levels. Yes, we have some maybe couple similarities. But people really have to remember our strategy is very simple and it's just focused on high impact areas. And then thinking beyond that, what do we do if this happens? What do we do if that happens? The conditional format of what to do next. That's what our system revolves around. But yeah, if anybody in here has not had a chance to watch that, the BB Theory playlist is by far the best playlist on my channel, in my opinion. But maybe someone can argue that, and there's other playlists. But recently, though, that would definitely be the best one. So if you have access to it and you haven't watched it yet, you have a lot there to look at. It's like 4 hours of stuff. I was actually watching that one the other day because I was like, you know what? I want to be refreshed when I get back. So I was watching some of my own playlists, which was weird, but I say weird because it's so weird watching your own videos or hearing your own voice. It's like, huh, that's what I sounded like. Triple Q strong, Spy flat, IMW weak, or IWM weak, sorry. I definitely needed the break, but I also just got so busy helping my friend out with his business. Hey, that's pretty cool too. Different experiences. You probably feel even more refreshed now that you're here. Damn, Maddie was in Tampa and didn't even hit you up. Damn. Bro forgot mail. Bro forgot Florida. Ah. Maddie, ice, dude. Be careful trading after a break. I looked at my journal, and Mondays are my worst days, so I can imagine after weeks off. Yeah, I don't typically trade Mondays either, or I try not to, but I think Monday is actually one of my biggest win rates if I was to actually backtest that. But no, yeah, thank you for the warning, because yeah, and that's good for you to see too, because now you could be like, well, now I know to trade less on Mondays or to not trade at all, and then you could just avoid that statistic altogether if it really is that bad, and then you could just kind of take advantage from there. Do I see Tesla up 2%? I did. That's pretty nuts. High impact areas holding. Nvidia is still just sitting there. Kind of looking like SPY, except SPY is below previous day high. Good morning, Spicy Pepper. Always good to see Spicy Pepper. I'll probably join the Discord and also stream in there in like 10 minutes if anybody needs me to do as well. If not, I'll just chill here. He's back. What's up, Adam? Good to see you, Green. Green candlestick. AMD and Tesla looking short today. Or strong today. Sorry. Yes, you were correct on that. I was like, wait, what? I'm sorry. I'm having to like look over to the right while I'm talking. And I'm trying to keep my face in front of the mic because I know when I move my face away, it gets quiet. It's all good. My mom... see? I said mom again. It's not even there. It's all good. May was hectic for me anyways. We'll clean the casino out next time. Maddie's in a casino, dude. We need a video on that. All the stars are back. I'm happy to see you, Adam, honestly. It's always good seeing you. I actually had a lot of you check on me while I was gone. Every time I take a break or something's wrong with me or something's going on in life, like you guys always hit me up. And we had, it's funny too, because I will count this in my head until I get back, but we only had one actual complaint while I was gone, and it was by a moron. I think he thought we were someone else because he was like talking shit, and then he was like, I don't know, it's a long story, but I think he was confused. And then, but all the other messages though have always been like, yo, hope you're doing good on your break, or yo, can't wait for you to be back, yo, can't wait for the stream, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's always something like that, and it's just so cool. You know, because in my head, because I'm me, I'm expecting the absolute worst. I'm expecting to get back and you guys, you know, just not be here. But I always forget we do have a community of... I'm not gonna say old people, but I'm not gonna say kids either. We really do have an in between audience. We have an audience of adults, so it does throw me off when I come back and I'm like, whoa, what the hell? Everybody's treating me with open arms. And it's because we have a community of people who are genuinely just not a child. Regardless of our political or religious or whatever beliefs in life, most people in my chat are pretty mature. Open-minded, mature, pretty cool for the most part. But yeah, I missed you guys too. It was too long. It was too long. And we're still seeing SPY sit in this buffer zone. We might see that retake. We might not. We see tech still just putting along very slow. They've already hit this high basically 4 candles ago. We're just still sitting here. Small caps are falling off still. Apple trying to recover. Microsoft looking better and better. We'll see if they continue to recover or not. We're still over a lot of previous day highs, like in this case, or 50% of previous days. So there's a lot of charts that are still holding good areas or pushing beyond them. You can see Tesla here doing very well. We already looked at that one, though. Where is UNH at? Are they still down there? Whoa. They are still down there. Okay. Oh, this one here, man. I would genuinely be looking at like a retake trade. Why am I still drawing these stupid lines? There we go. I would love it to break that level. I guess you could say this would be your retake scenario if it gets over this level here. So many people are scared to trade this. That's why I want to trade it. That's the best time to trade something. Wait, why did I go to the 5 minute? What am I doing? I genuinely am not going to be surprised if we see Exxon or Chevron killing it in the next couple weeks, couple months. Those will not surprise me. This is a little surprising. I don't think I realized Costco had been down. I saw Staples were taking a hit, but I didn't realize Costco had done this. This could be a good swing in the near term. Who doesn't like swinging Costco? Netflix. I would say poor Netflix, but it's really not poor Netflix. They're killing it. Walmart could be an interesting one. I see they're still under 98. I left, they were under 98. I get back, we're still under 98. Just checking out some dailies real quick. Boeing at 235, that's criminal. You'll buy a YouTube membership if I give a call out and it works out. But I've given like 20 in the past while you were here and you didn't do it. So I think you're a cheapskate who's not going to get a membership regardless of what I do. Hence why you make free indicators. Nah, I'm just kidding. Yo, y'all should check out Ace's Twitter, though. I don't know if y'all been paying attention or not. I've been glazing him on Twitter. If I glaze anyone openly, it's Ace. Where'd it go? Oh, I have to go to my replies. That's so stupid. Cutest trader ever. But yeah, people are tipping him for like free coffees and shit. Because he's like... Ace is literally doing what me and Leland did in the beginning. He's like finding all these like indicators regardless of them being paid or not, and he's just like remaking them and then putting them out there for free for anybody to use. He's really doing the Lord's work. If there is a heaven, he's going to it. Yeah, hit the like button. We back. I forgot. I gotta remember. I need to sell my soul and be like, yeah, guys, hit the like button. I gotta repeat that more often. I don't know if is Optioneer still here. That GEHC chart that we were looking at together. I looked at this the other night, and I was like, holy crap, my lines are working. We drew all this together weeks ago, and it's still just doing what I said it was going to do. We did talk about the option here for it to fall, but it didn't. You're in USO. See, that's a hot ticker. I don't mind that one at all. Yeah, USO is hot right now. That is a great play, Alexis. And yeah, good call out. I saw somebody said SPY reclaiming open. Who said that? Adam did. Of course he did. Good call out. And see, this is why I go over the buffer zone sometimes, because so many people want to short and long every literal level. When in reality, not trading in between those levels was the better option, and just waiting for information in between it. Also happy to look at that while we're going through so many other weights, kind of picking up on that at the same time, because we saw a lot of weights picking it up or going back to their highs or something like that, so should see that represented somewhat on the SPY chart. IWM seems to have found support. Okay, it finally stopped. I did see it just keep falling. And it looks like it's looking for that reclaim over previous day. Good job. Good call out. And remember, guys, we already called out contracts for this play. If you get any push over 637.60s, you can look at 637 or 638 same-day calls. I said 639s were a bit too far for my liking, so if you were doing that, that's all on you. But the 638 and 637s have already doubled. Probably not from entry. I just meant from where we saw the quotes earlier. From entry, it's probably nowhere near that. But yeah, if anybody's looking at those, we did look at the 637 and 638s. If we did get any hold or push up beyond 637.50s. Now, we'll see if we get anything else beyond that. We did only get one 5-minute close in the past 37 minutes. We are still inside of this recent 5-minute candle. This one has not stopped. A little less than 2 minutes. Minute and 40. And I try my best to call that out because that does matter when you're inside an actual trade. If anybody in here actually trades, you would know that you do definitely want to try to get into your trades or out of your trades before that next candle's over. We'll see if we get a continuation from this. My bad. Let me fix the chart. We're just sitting here looking at a blank space above our heads. There we go. We'll see if we get anything else from that. If we get any re-loss of 637.50s, that definitely destroys our momentum for any continuation up. And if you guys need the contracts called out more, let me know. But I've been doing a pretty good job of bringing them up when I need to. GEHC is just a baby, so much potential. Yeah, I think you found a gem. You know, I really do think that, because I kept it on my watch list and it was one of the first 10 things I looked at when I got back. GEHC is a gem. And good job on your USO play. I think that's a very cool setup as well. I like the positioning on it. When I say I think it's a cool setup, I'm genuinely just saying I like that. Like if you're in a bullish setup, I probably like the higher lows. I probably like the candlestick patterns that are holding after that higher low. I see the basing and consolidation on your daily time frame. Just to break that down more, because I don't want anyone to think like, oh, he just says it's a cool setup. Like, no, there's a reason I'm saying that. But yeah, position. Good candlestick pattern. Is anybody actively trading SPY, or does anybody need me to look at anything else that there might be actively trading? If you're busy and you can't type, that is also fine. I don't want anybody to do too many things at once while they're trading. That can definitely be very freaking annoying. Again, the two contracts we were looking at are 637 and 638s for the 28th, same days. Also good timing, too, because we have 39 minutes under our belt now. We're almost 40 minutes into the day. So you don't feel as shitty when you get in or out of a trade now, because it's not the literal first candle of the day. There's actually something to go off of here. Now, If we get any more weakness, any loss of 637.50 is not a good sign. Does that mean to jump into shorts instantly? No. We have that buffer zone. But the contracts, if we do break 637, we're looking at 636 and 635 strikes. If that scenario was to ever pan out. And yes, you do need to be actively thinking about this stuff beforehand. I cannot stand it when people are like, why didn't you call this out? Or why didn't you do that? It's like, why are you waiting for someone to tell you something? It already happened. Right? While this candle closed above this level, you were sitting there trying to figure out all the intricacies of trading, which is bullshit. You know, you should have been in or out of your trade, or deciding that you're going to get in or not. You know, not sitting here discussing game plans with people still. That's just crazy to me. That's why we go over it beforehand. So when it happens, you can act on it. You don't have to sit here and wait for someone. There's no signal to wait on. There's no flag. There's no nothing. It's just act. There's no thinking. Just do it. And that's what creates a good trader is being decisive. You got to be decisive. How do you be decisive? You got to have it thought out beforehand. For good and for bad. Doesn't matter if you were right or wrong. You need to be acting on it instantly. Because you're not going to know that you're right or wrong beforehand. You're not God. You're not Marty McFly. We're not going into the future and figuring things out. SPX, I got you. Which I'm curious now that I'm here. Alright, so there's your main levels for SPX Ace. You have your previous day high. Your previous day high and your gap up 50% as your impact area, I guess is what I'm now labeling these things. So just, yeah, good hold so far. Which I think I already posted this beforehand. Yeah, on Premium Trade Floor I already posted SPX twice. But that's how I got my main levels. I just 50% of previous day, 50% of the gap up, previous day high, and then I use those fib extensions of the gap up for anything else above. So now we know, okay, it's not just holding previous day high, it's actually holding multiple levels that are pretty impactful. Which this is the exact same look on SPY right now. Different reasoning, different levels I should say, but same reasoning. We're seeing that buffer zone hold, we're seeing us push up, potentially hold higher. You go to SPX. You have a higher open loss retake. So the loss retake example is happening, and I'm kind of happy so far, but we'll see if it gets anything else beyond this. But yeah, that is your that's your charts right now, and how we got the levels that we got, and where to be bullish and bearish from. Also cool, because all this information is something you could have had beforehand. I hate when people throw up levels on their screen. It's like, dude, you wouldn't have had that until market was open. What are you talking about? You know, I hate when people do that. Unless that's part of the whatever they're doing. Like the gap up fib, you got to wait for market open. But if I'm having to wait 20 minutes after market open to draw whatever, you know, it's not really going to be helpful. So it's good to have everything right at the open. Or before, because, you know, you can actually be prepared and think about it ahead of time. The 638s are in the out of the money. It's the 637s that are left. 6400s. Let's go. Let's see if we can get the 640176 target. That'd be that first fib extension. That would be a very nice thing to at least hit. And if we get beyond that, see if we get up to the 6405. Let me check out SPY real quick. We got 638.80 up there. Which, to be honest, if you wanted to make 638.50 your first target, not complaining, every 50 cents, not a bad idea. It's almost $1 from your previous day high. Still holding, though. I'm not saying anything crazy. You definitely want to see a bigger green candle appear than that, but we don't always get what we want. Nvidia potentially holding a higher low at 174.70s. Any breakdown of 173.80 is not a good sign for that chart, so they got some room under. Tesla, they are still pushing up. They are above previous day highs now, and have been for a little bit. It's crazy. I'm actually going to have to throw some other levels up on this. What is going on? There we go. More Tesla levels. How that appears there. Oops. Damn, I'm glad I posted Tesla. I knew just watching SPY wasn't going to cut it, but I'm glad we at least posted Tesla. Apparently Europe is dumping on the trade deal news. America's market moving up right now. Let's go back to SPX. Sorry guys, I haven't been reading as much. I'm going to check y'all out now. I was trying to get updates for y'all. Have I been watching Dork? No, I have not. I have been watching D-Nut, yes. But no, I haven't been watching the other ones. I was watching D-Nut with Mike. Mike had me watching D-Nut. I've been watching Bull with everybody. Those are pretty much the two I've been watching the most. But I am familiar with some of those other ones like KSS and Open. I also saw Sand was trading Open and a couple of those other ones. I'm somewhat up to date. Out 2 out of 4 longs on MES. Let's go. Matty Ice. Round of applause, man. And Matty Clams. Both the Matties back for attack. IWM looking a little weak. Good call out by Adam. We're seeing continuation on that. Matty Ice said he did. Wick of the Hammer. Took the exact same entrance and exit. Damn, and Dr. J. Damn, and React. Bro, all 4 of y'all traded that shit. Round of applause, guys. I am super happy to hear that. It's funny, I was literally just saying that. I was like, it's okay if I can't reply yet. I'm trying to give y'all updates. I'm sure y'all are doing the same thing. You're trading your ass off. Seeing the potential, and then you're coming back. Let's go. Fuck yes. Damn, and Woots. Woots inside the chat kicking ass. Clean chart by Adam on IWM. Anybody looking at small caps? Nice, nice, nice. Damn, y'all make it so easy to be back. Good shit. It's crazy too. It's only 9:20. Not even a full hour has gone by yet, guys. There's still plenty of potential opportunity in the day. Tesla up over 3.25%. Damn, y'all exited literally at the perfect time. My stop on the runners your stop on the runners is current day open. Should keep minimal gains if it hits. No, that's a good idea. Which it just hit, so. Oh wait, y'all are on futures. It might be a little off. Oh, GG, yeah. They let y'all have that 638. That's funny. That's a good way of thinking about it too, though. Like how Matty put it, how Matty Ice put it. He said runners are pretty much all cut if current day open hits. So he gives himself in the future. I mean, it just happened, but ahead of time, he gives himself time to be like, you know what? If this goes against me, this is where I'm gonna be fully out, regardless of how much I'm up or down or whatever, you know. Because you've already taken a little bit off of your base position. Now you're just trying to get off of that. Staircase out, essentially. And I think that's a great way to do it. We are getting a crazy wick at today's open. Imagine this higher low and this wick. What kind of green candles we could see after that. Actually, let me put DNUT up here instead of coin, since I already look at coin enough on the bigger time frames. There we go. DNUT and bull. What's everyone looking at or trading? What was everyone looking at? I'm kind of switching between SPY, Tesla, Nvidia, talking about a few of them, updating some of y'all's messages. What is everyone in here looking at, though? Let me hear from y'all. Act as if you were streaming. What's up? What do you see? Could have moved stop to break even to keep move, but it's fine. Kept a few bucks still. Hey, you tried. That's risk reward. You are not getting any reward without risk. You put yourself in a position to potentially get that reward. It didn't work out perfectly. Got a little bit of something. We might get a second chance here too, and I think that's what's more important, is keeping yourself going. Because if you're going to constantly sit there and hold trades, you're never going to get a chance at another opportunity. What happens if the best trading opportunity pops up on your screen that you've ever seen after you just make a trade like that? You're gonna not take it. You're gonna skip it 10 out of 10 times. But what happens if you do see that second opportunity and you were one of those traders like just now, where you did have that, oh, I'm gonna cut this here, I'm gonna break even here, and you're ready. You put yourself in a position where you can take a second opportunity. Not saying you should, but it gives you that chance. You wouldn't even have that path if you were sitting there holding trades all the time, so you did fine. Damn, dude. That was about to be the best rally ever. All good, though. Cut short. We are seeing 637.50s lose support. And we're back into the buffer zone. Is this just a liquidity grab for more downside? Is this about to be a second higher low for more upside? That's what the buffer zone is for. Watching MMM and TXN for possible upside here. Oh, nice. Here, I'll check those out real quick. Oh, nice. Yeah, TXN's in a crazy spot. Oh, that was from that earnings move, wasn't it? And then MMM, 3M. Oh, I like the positioning on that one too. Probably needs a little bit more time, but this one I think I like a little bit more than TXN, that's for sure. I think semis did just all take a hit, specifically. You're in IWM puts today and MRK calls for 8.15. Ooh. That's in a pretty good spot too. Got a little inverse headed shoulders look to it. I like all these higher lows after this retake. The retake's right here. Then you got a higher low, higher low, higher low. Not a bad look, Adam. Got earnings right there as well. I'm assuming you're scalping IWM puts. Or are you swinging that as well? Oh, you said for today. My bad. I literally read over that. First target hitting an IWM was the Lee test. God, I love seeing that term typed out. Wow, that is insanely clean. Good job on IWM, Adam. We were all getting hyped with our little small call plays. Adam was over here killing IWM. And I actually like your MRK chart as well on the daily. That's a pretty clean setup. See if it gets more time. I like that you got 8 to 15. You gave yourself at least a little bit of this week to trade it. I'd be careful with earnings too, though, but I'm sure you're already aware of that. And our higher low is still holding. We'll see if we get continuation off of this or not. Anybody looking at the options chain, you'd want to see a hold of this area first, but you could still look at those same strikes. 637, 638. 638 looks a little bit more enticing. Downside contract players, you're looking at same strikes. I'm sorry. I can't step outside of these numbers. They're the best right now. 637, 638. Those are the two you're looking at. 636 could be seen in a little bit if more time goes by and we're actually breaking levels, but just keep that in the back of your mind. Oh, you entered MRK last week. You've already been in it. Okay. I thought you meant like, I'm getting it right now. I got you, though. I got you. Well, good shit on IWM. I definitely love seeing those lower high retest trades. Few people in here were trying to do the opposite of that on SPY. And we are about to reach our first hour of the market. We've been live for a little over an hour already, but we're about to be in the first hour of the market. About 40 seconds. How's everyone doing so far? What's everyone looking at? Are you guys just chilling watching the stream? Are you guys also watching your own chart? Are you at work just audio only? How's everyone doing? My bad, my bad. I'm reading again. I was looking at something. Miss you, gang. I'll be back one day. Wacko Jacko. Thank you, man. Actually, I don't know if I replied to you or not, but I did see your message pop up. But, dude, thank you. Thank you, Jacko. I hope you're killing it. $29 months is crazy. Bro, in 7 months, that's 3 years on the YouTube membership. Do you guys realize we were already a group like basically 3 years before the YouTube membership thing even existed? That is crazy. I'm using like Jacko as like a time frame here. God, this group is old. There's so many groups out there that'll be like, dude, we've been going for 3 years, man. None of those groups were pre-COVID. We've been going since before COVID. It is wild, dude. It breaks my mind thinking about those kinds of things because it's like you think of COVID as this thing that's not that far away, but it really is like years ago now. Like it's been a minute. It's been a minute since it started. We're multiple wars beyond that now. Like so much time has gone by. All good, Jack. You can't stay for long. All good. I figured you're busy. How's the business, man? How's the business? Everybody knows Wacko in here. Alexis said, vibing, observing the charts and only on... Oh, okay, that's not bad, yeah. Watching your USO. Susan's just chilling. Nothing wrong with that, Susan. Also, Susan was like the first person to react to my chart post the other day. Shout out to Susan. She was grinding. Just been grinding to a point that I accidentally opened a mechanical side of the business. You're like, what did I get myself into? I just want to sell parts. Alexis, I saw that Goons message. Y'all, there's so many of you typing Goons now. It's freaking me out. The internet is getting you all. The bull shop is thriving. What's up, KT? Multiple war, yeah. Thanks, Maddie. We are doing well in the official full-time. And you have an officially full-time employee now? That is crazy. Wacko has his own little employee now? Was literally that, just want to sell parts. Then people asked if I knew someone to install the part. So yeah, it just kept leading you down the road. They're like, yeah, can you order me this part? And then it turns into, I don't really trust my mechanic. Can you help me? And then you're like, oh, I guess I'll start doing it too. I guess that's a good way to get into it, though. You know, not just randomly getting into it, but like the spark of the demand. You know, people asking you, hey, can you do it? Hey, I know you've done this in the past. Could you, like, hook me up, dude? Please, dude. Tesla, love you today. Absolutely killing it. All organic word of... Exactly. Word of mouth, man. And I remember you and me talked about that in the very beginning when you first had your business. And I remember talking about that because people always ask me, like, do I do ads? Do I do this? Do I do that? No. Just do word of mouth. It's slower, but it's organic. It's going to be stronger. I mean, look at me. Look at me, for example. You know, I just left for 2 weeks. I came back. I still got most of the people that were in here before. And it's not because of any random trick or black magic or anything like that. It's just loyalty. It's because of the way people treat each other. People don't treat each other like shit. Or for the most part, we don't treat each other like shit in here. You know, it's all word of mouth. It's all, yo, this is my homies group. Yo, this is my homie. This is my friend. Like, we really do talk to each other like people in here. So, I'm sure from your business, too, that could be even better. Because people are like, oh, my God, he's been doing really good at getting me these parts. Let me just ask him. Let's see, could he maybe fit this part of my vehicle? You know, and then they get it. You know, next thing you know, they're telling their friend. Next thing you know, their friend's telling their friend. You know, and it's just the most it's slow, but it's strong. It's slow but strong, like you said, organic. You don't want any of that other crap. You just want to build your stuff, but you want your customers to literally defend you. Like, your customers shouldn't be sitting there trying to pull one over on you. And if they are, you're running your business like shit. But if not, then you're doing pretty damn good. The profits will speak for themselves later on. But right now, in the moment, you know, you need to be focused on the nitty gritty. The shit nobody wants to work on. But good shit, Jack. Always good to see you. I hope the wife is okay too. The wife and kids. Wife and kid. Or wife and kids. I feel like it's one. I really wanted to say two, though. Why do I think Jack has two kids? I swear to God it's one, though. If you have been happy customers, they market for you opening their mouth. Yeah, exactly. You don't need to, like, work hard on ads or anything else or promotion. It's a waste of energy. And you're also going to attract the wrong kind of people, the wrong kind of customers, the wrong kind of business. Okay, yeah, it was just the one. It's been tough, but the light at the end of the tunnel. Nice, man, nice. Happy to hear that. Happy to hear that. You know you're always welcome in here, man. Alright, what's happening on the stock market, guys? Anything change? Let's check our briefing website. That is bright as hell. So here's our strong sectors, our weak sectors. Nothing new. We kind of already knew those. This is what I like to look at. Moving the market, which we knew this one just because of our friendly neighborhood European Tobias. He was pretty early on reporting this in the chat as well as the news in the news feed. But I don't like to just allude to that because who the fuck reads the news feed all the time? Trade deal between the U.S. that features a 15% tariff on European imports, which is a lot. So a lot of money for us. Fresh record highs for the SP 500 and NASDAQ. So just more good news, more recent highs. Nothing really changing in the market right now. There is one thing that can change. It would be the relief of the Federal Reserve in America. If we could get them to chill out and interest rates get pulled down a little bit, I think you'll see a crazy move in the market. But I don't know if that's ever going to happen. But I would say that's the biggest pressure holder in the market right now. Outside of international trade deals, I would say it's definitely the Federal Reserve that's holding a lot of pressure back. Who knows where we could be in the market if that wasn't happening. Let me remove this because it's kind of hard to look at. Still holding, very ugly, but still holding that level there. Very ugly, though. I'm not going to sit here and say that's pretty. But it's a higher low nonetheless. And I'm out of water. Awesome. So yeah, we like Tesla, we like SPY, we like Nvidia, we like Apple. Kind of switching between those four right now. What is everyone in chat looking at? I know what Alexis is looking at. I know what Adam is looking at. I know what KT is looking at. What's everyone else looking at? I know what the Maddies are looking at if they are looking at anything. They are looking at those futures charts. Still seeing higher lows build up on pretty much every ticker I just explained. Every chart's pretty similar, some uglier than others, but they're all pretty much doing the higher low setup right now with the uglier second higher low forming right now. SPY and ES always. I figured. Plus sectors, of course. I like that you threw that in there. Plus sectors. You didn't say that. Maddie. It's so good to be back. I forgot how much fun it was reading y'all's messages and conversating and just going through this stuff. Outside of trading, of course. Trading is fun. But it's always fun to just sit here and go over shit. I really enjoy the prep and the review as well, because I feel like that's where I get the most out of it, as well as others. You know, anyone could just sit here and be like, all right, guys, I'm buying the 639 call right here, right now. Stop loss at 637.50. You know, that's already set in stone. If you aren't even at that point in where we are, you shouldn't even be in the stream. This is looking good for bulls still, as explained. I'm going to go grab some water. I better not come back and this be like a fat-ass red candle, because I'm not losing money. 638, 639s. Oh, man. Okay, I also played with my dog. I didn't just get water, but she's so cute. I've never had a dog this cool. Like, I thought it was going to be hard to top one of the dogs I've owned in the past, but this dog has blown every other dog I've owned out of the water. It plays fetch. It does all kinds of stuff. It's the best dog ever. Y'all can hear me, right? Did I mute my mic? No. Data J, I just saw what you said in chat. He said, Pal just closed the fucking door. That's too good. Yeah, Pal's gotta fucking do something. Pal's insane. I was a Pal defender, now I'm a Pal attacker. He's saying sorry for this F-bomb that amused his fellow co-host. That's too funny. I got a new dog, yeah. Check the pets channel. That's my Lily. She's a mini golden doodle, but she's definitely like 95% golden retriever. New pet. What should I name it? This was a month ago. How did I not see this? Are you feeding it a fucking Dorito? What the heck? Nah, you crazy. Nah, you crazy. Maybe that's why it's been a month. I think Gold Creation got taken out. That's crazy. I didn't even see that. I thought I posted another picture of my dog. Was that it? Anytime you're stressed, just come to this channel. Life sucks, but come to this channel, you remind yourself, wait, animals. Wait, maybe that was literally it. Oh, look, it's this moron. I was like, who do I have blocked in the pets channel? Yeah, Lily's pretty cool. I'll have to post some more pictures. I can't believe these are the only 3 I put. I could have swore I put another one. Oh, it was on Trade Floor. Here you go. This was hers up. Dude, this right here. Is the bow, dude. The red bow. I mean, how can you look at that and not think that's the cutest fucking thing in the world? Adorbs? Yeah, dude, it's stupidly adorbs. Adorbs. My pupper is adorbs. But yeah. I mean, I'm a dude, man. I don't give a fuck about that. I'm hard. Football. Yeah. Yo, y'all been getting weak on the memes, by the way. The memes channel's weak. Lily has entered the chat. I just heard her bell run down. We have a bell on her neck. So whenever because she's so small. I just heard her bell moving down the hallway just now. I've also never had a dog that likes water, but she loves water. Like, not to drink, like to play in. So we bought her a kiddie pool. We haven't used it yet. We're gonna do it this weekend. Zinful's MIA. Nah, he's probably just busy. It's probably my fault too. Eli Lilly. Ha ha ha. Except we spell it with 1 L, because 2 L's is just crazy. I'm seeing a lot of consolidations on the different weights, because again, when you're seeing me go through these, even if it's stocks you don't look at, it doesn't matter. These are the biggest weights in the market. If 10 of them are going up, there's a good chance we're mostly going up. If most of them are going down, we're probably going down on SPY. So it's a good thing you kind of just shift through these. You could actually see Apple and Microsoft are fighting each other. Nvidia is not looking too hot. Amazon's looking good. Meta's tired, but she's finally producing a candle that might give it a higher low. Google looking a little better after falling. So you can kind of put that positioning in your head. And then you go to SPY and it's like, well, no wonder we're indecisive. I just went through all these weights, and there's so many that look like they're going to keep going up. There's a few that look like they're going to keep falling. There's a few that look like they're about to begin falling. So we'll see if weakness takes over here and 637.50 turns into a resistance. Or we're going to keep holding here and get the inevitable pop to the upside. We'll see. If you guys have any questions, anything, or anything you're looking at, let me know. Or if you just have something to post, that's also fine. Let's see it. Need Zenful memes. He is the king of memes. I will give him that. I haven't met anybody who's like actually good at it like the way he is, but just close the fucking door. Tesla did great. I'm not even mad about that one. Nvidia could have been better. Then again, so could Spy. Spy could have been a lot better. What is the equal weight ticker for Spy? Thought it was RSY, an equal weight for Spy. I don't know what you're asking. Talking about this one? RSP? I think you're the one who showed me this one. I don't even remember who. I think it was you, Adam, but I don't remember why you told me to put this on. I think you said this is like all 500 weights if they were equal, right? That's why it's called equal weight. I really don't remember. I think that's why though. It makes the most sense. Which is a very cool concept, honestly, because this makes it look a lot more like IWM. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's probably the only reason I left it. Because I don't normally leave things I don't watch on here, but if I understand it, I'll leave it. That's why we have all these other ones too. Like ADD, Dollar, Vold, Bitcoin, SPY feature, NASDAQ feature, ARK, MAGS. MAGS is pretty important. We are getting a loss of the previous day high. RSP represents all of the sectors or stocks equally. Okay. SPY is up, but RSP is down. MAGS is probably up, but I do. Okay, that's a very cool way to instantly like make that distinction. Without even looking at the others, you could already be like, oh, well, this is doing this then. And even if you're wrong, you at least know it's vice versa then, which doesn't really matter. That's kind of cool. It's like a quicker way of making the distinction between what's moving and what's not. Be sure to link the stream link around, guys. Holy crap, I can't speak English. And drop a like on the stream if you haven't already. If you guys have any questions or comments or anything you just want to throw in here, throw it in here. I think I'm going to run a poll on YouTube chat because I haven't done this in a long time. I just kind of want to see what it looks like again. Any trades yet? Yes or no? I feel like it's a pretty innocent question. I'm just asking if anyone's traded or not. Not asking how was your trade, what was the result, what was the outcome. Not trying to pressure anybody. Tesla ramping up again. She said, just kidding. 323 is a support. I instantly saw the 3.33%, and I then knew there was more green candles. What a crazy chart today. I'm short to 23,466 for EQL lows. Stop loss 2,500. There's Ace's call out for anybody. Ace, you gonna be on today later to chill, or what's up with that? I'm kept catching up on all your tweets, dude. You're fucking more popular than anybody now. Yo, just don't forget me, man. I've been retweeting and liking, bro, I swear. You could chill, Pep. I guess his spy is up, but RSP is down. Continuation is less likely, so be quicker with scalps. But that's just guess. It needs to be back test. No, that's a good high probability guess that you're probably not going to be in an as scalp worthy market in that particular moment. But I like what you said though at the second end of that though. Definitely should back test that. But I think that's a good high probability guess though, because that makes sense. Just organically, that makes sense. The only thing I don't like about that though, and this is what makes tech so important, is that tech will have these days where they don't give a fuck, you know? So that's why you got to really like kind of separate that some days. Because equal weights or not, there's going to be so many days where tech is the only moving sector. That's a majority of the year where that sector is moving the most. That's just how it is. It moves the most. It has the most impact. So I think that's another thing too, is maybe isolate them. You know, if you're going to watch RSP, you need to also isolate watching Triple Q or any of your favorite tech stocks. But just, I don't know, that's my opinion, because tech is the meat, right? When you go to the dinner table and you're eating steak, that's tech, right? Your salads, your sides, that's all these other sectors. But the meat is tech. And there's so many cool things you can do with it. Like what you're doing with RSP and SPY. You can do that with semiconductor ETFs and semiconductors. It's just, basically what you're doing is you're just making a distinction, and then you're just kind of giving yourself two lanes to take. It's like, all right, well, it's either doing this or it's doing that. You know, you're making it give yourself a 50-50, which is good. Because, I mean, would you rather bet on a 50-50 and go for that, or would you rather be taking trades that have 0% probability where you don't really even understand what's going on? You know, it's kind of nice to have that understanding. And then now, beyond that 50-50, if you add anything else to that, oh, there's a higher low holding here. Oh, there's a piercing line here. Oh, my HTF from the free indicator that I downloaded from Ace Ventura off Twitter, it's telling me this. You know, giving you extra signs beyond that 50-50. Now we're weighing ourselves into a better opportunity here. The 50-50 is a starting point. You like that, Ace? IoT Apple buyout rumor. No idea what it is. Yeah, I have no idea. IoT. If you would have said IQT, I think I would have remembered it. What do they do, though? What the dog doing? We are getting a bearish retest away from today's open as well as previous day highs, by the way, guys. So anybody who was looking at higher lows holding, that's been invalidated and more. Might even be looking at more weakness under previous day close if we get to it. Did I steal Maddie's crown? I'm number 3 now. Get wrecked. I don't know. I really don't understand how this works. I'll be honest with you. Because I've been in other people's streams, and I couldn't make sense of it. Top fans. So you get XP. This is what it is. You get XP for typing. You get XP for donating. You get XP for just being here, I think. I don't remember if these are all the points or not. And that's it, right? So you can constantly overtake each other. There's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of you tied for first place, but you wouldn't know because the ranking system doesn't make sense. So I really don't understand how they do all this. But it also stacks, if I remember this correctly, I believe these stack over the course of multiple streams. It does reset every stream. It resets every stream so you can always try again. Oh, that's lame. I didn't think it did reset. Huh. Yeah, just start spamming the chat. Yeah, spam it for number 1. That's good. All right, so most of you traded. Some of you are just kind of chilling. And we have a few people who are just audio only. I like how when you spam chat, you lost number 3. Ace is number 3. So it's Maddie, Dr. Ace. Maddie's in number 1 by 25 XP. I don't know what any of that is. If this was set across every stream, you would all be screwed. Because I'm pretty sure, like, people like Wacko Jacko, like, those guys would have, like, 1,000,000 XP, and none of you would catch up. Some of the Maddies would have a bunch. Yeah, anybody who was from the Marbles days, like, you would have over 1,000,000 XP. God, I wish you wouldn't have typed that, because Ace is in here, and now he's going to fucking bring it up again. And then later on in the day when I go hang out with him, he's going to be like, hey, man, what's up with Marbles, man? I can already hear it. I can already hear the Marbles. Wacko Jacko. I just talk too much. You have too much XP, bro. You're such a yapper. You're first place on my leaderboard. Bro, I saw a YouTube stream playing marbles. Did you? Like from this year? Because there was an old marbles that did work on YouTube, but it's not there anymore. If you saw a recent one, you gotta link me it. So I can watch it. It was like 2 weeks ago? Okay, well if you could find it, link me and I could try to figure out what's up. Got to get ready to leave for work. Stay safe. You too, Adam. Thank you for being here, man. I appreciate you being in here and bringing that energy. Thank you. It's very appreciated on my first stream back. This motherfucker Ace. Did somebody say marbles? It's the same marbles we used to play. Maybe they added a YouTube integration now. Let me look. Somebody said, thought it was a good game till I found out it has emote cheats. Will be uninstalling. What? How does that even mean? What did I just open? Oh, this is their YouTube. I was like, what did I just... What was that? The Tesla long would have worked out. Break even. Oh, good Ace. That was a good try. Yeah, the Tesla longs would have done good. I should have called that out instead. Which, I hate to do that, too. I hate to be like, I should have called that out. Because it's like, I did post it a fuck ton. I just didn't sit there and hold anyone's hand. But That would have been the best play of the day, dude. And you know what's funny? When I go for my stock picks before the morning starts, like with Nvidia and Tesla, for example, a lot of the time I start from the daily. I just look at the chart and I'm like, all right, does it have room to go up or down? And then if I think it's in a spot where it should start moving again, I try to post it for the chat. Like Nvidia, I did it because I thought it was going to tap out today, but it didn't. It got a higher open and it maintained. So now tomorrow I can look for, well, remove all that junk. So tomorrow I could look for really fat red candles under this highlighted area, and as long as I'm above this highlight area, I should still be bullish. So see how I can be decisive now? It's kind of nice. And then Tesla, I can't really change anything from that because this is more of like a gap setup. So we're over the 50% of the gap. We're over the 50% of a lot of the move down, everything. And now we're just getting up to fill in the gap. So now I'm a little bit less liking longs, but now that we're up here, I'm happy to see it's done that because it's like, all right, well, give us some consolidation. We can get some more movement on this chart now. So I'll probably wait a day or two to post Tesla again, maybe 3. But that's the main trick. You just got to go to your daily, try to find something you think is going to move, and then go down to your smaller time frames, get it ready for the day. Before the market is open, I cannot stand when people do that after market's open. It's so easy to, like, trick yourself. Is this going to end just like this day? This is already reminding me of this day. I was back testing the past few days. This already reminds me of this day. I think this is Thursday of last week. Thursday, Friday, yeah. Thursday of last week. That's what today is reminding me of. Let me keep investigating this marbles stuff real quick before I forget. It still says Twitch only. It says Marbles on Stream is integrated with Twitch.tv API and enabled Twitch streamers to involve their viewers in the game. This game is very community oriented and brings people together in existing communities. Nothing about YouTube. Get on Twitch and start racing. Says it again there. Recommended specs for streaming and playing the game on the same machine. No shit. See all updates. Alright, let me just go on YouTube then. Marbles on YouTube. Let's type that. Maddie, you need to find the one that you saw 2 weeks ago. Like, go to your history, type marbles, and then link me it. Marbles game. Look at 2025, and I'm still talking about marbles. Recently uploaded, maybe? That wasn't helpful at all. I don't know why that did that. Oh, you're good. That's weird, though. I see people making maps on, what's it called? On YouTube, but I don't see them playing them.
Oh well. Let's go to a different chart because none of these are moving. Let's go to Tesla. They're up 4% now. Let's go. You DM'd where you saw it? Okay. What the fuck? Man, you're not kidding. They really are playing marbles. Hold up. Oh god, I hate when people talk like the way these people are talking. I could grow my subscriber count too, but I don't want to put a big dollar sign on my screen. That shit's so cringe. Okay. Bro, this guy just said he's trading a bull flag, and I look at the chart, he's like, yeah, and it's just a green candle. That's not a bull flag. I cannot stand that term. I don't know what it is, man. I'm assuming they're connected through Discord, Maddie, or Twitch, and maybe they're streaming on multiple platforms because that's not just YouTube. I was looking at their YouTube chat replay, and it's not through YouTube, so I don't know what the hell they're doing there. I'm assuming it's connected through Discord though, not or Twitch, and they're streaming on two platforms, which is very common. That's very common. But I don't know. I'll have to watch that again. Did I check the 10-second chart? Yeah, you're right. No, that's why I think people misunderstand me when I say that. Like, is bull flag a term? Yes, it is. But the popular way of using that term is so abused, it's insane. It's not even used correctly anymore. When people say bull flag, they're saying they think it's going to go up more. That's how people use it now, which is not what bull flag means. That's why I don't like people using that term, because it's so loosely, lazily used. It's used incorrectly now, and it throws people off. If I say bull flag, 9 out of 10 of you are gonna be like, "Oh, well, he's buying calls." No, that's not what that means. A bull flag is a consolidation that looks bullish. Is it always going to blow up and go bullish after the flag consolidation is over? No. There's chances that it doesn't. There's chances it falls through the floor, which is what a lot of us call liquidity grabs. Like that, it's just I don't know. That's why you don't like. That's why you don't see me use those terms, because they're lazy. They're loose. They could mean 100 things at once, and everyone kind of cowers behind them, right? They cower behind the confusion. They go, I called out that bull flag. Who got in with me? And then on the other side of things, it's like, well, I called out that bull flag and it didn't work out. I'll just not mention it again and say, well, it was still flagging and it failed. It's a thing you can cower behind as a streamer or a trader that's not actually trading. I can't stand that term because it's not right. I've never met someone who actually trades who says flag this, flag that, flag this, flag that, and actually profits. That's just, I've never. If you want to use flags correctly, understand that they are consolidation periods. They are not meant to preemptively be bullish or bearish. You're not supposed to be anything beforehand. That's why I don't like those terms. It's not because I don't like the actual definitions of the terms themselves. No, it has nothing to do with that. It's because of how everyone uses them now. I to this day, I've still never seen somebody use that word correctly. And all the old timers that used to use it correctly just aren't around anymore. It's all these young bucks. Flag this, flag that. I think this is flagging. That's the most bullshit sentence I've ever heard. It's like, you're not really putting yourself at risk. You're just kind of throwing some information out there to make it look like you know what you're talking about. And you don't. My understanding is a bull flag is during an uptrend, the downtrend movement between a higher high to higher low, but I use fibs now for that. That is exactly it. And that's why I'm glad a lot of people in chat use fibs, because you can actually make the distinction of where something is bullish or bearish from without giving it some bullshit label. That's what I like about it. You can actually be hands-on with it. You can be, I like it here, I don't like it here. Doesn't need a term. You don't need to name it anything. It's insane. How's everything doing today? Hope we all good. What's up, Nard? Good to see you, man. Sorry, I'm reading through the chat. I like your scripts, Ace. Hey, Ace, you see? You got fans? I'm a huge Ace fan myself, Nard. Get in line. Spy losing previous day close with good pressure. Good call out, Maddie Clams. The Maddies are on fire today, man. I like y'all's updates. And I know y'all are going to be like, we didn't do anything great today, blah, blah, blah. I don't care about that. I like the communication, the updates. I didn't have to see a paragraph typed out for that spy update. That was pretty cool. Ended up re-entering last target at the... nice, Ace. Let me know how that works out for you. But I'm happy to hear that. You didn't let it deter you. What broke? My imaginary calls are losing profits. He said... he said Spy was losing previous day close with good pressure. Let me go back. Let me go to that chart for you, because you're in here. We are losing that. Good looks. Ace also updating that he's getting in again. BB, you good? BB, good luck. Best Monday for me in a long time. Nah, man, it's y'all, man. We just got good communication between ourselves. I feel like it's easy because I'm streaming. We can all laugh at me, look at this stuff, and communicate in the text chat. It's really easy. A lot of the best updates are from you guys in the text chats. I'm not joking either. I'm not saying that to be nice. I'm genuinely being serious. Like, you really all need to read each other's messages and actually take them in, because there's a lot of really good updates. Damn you, Dr. J. You're still fighting for number one on the thing. It's funny because you could literally donate and then take first place. Don't do that. Do not do that. Because fighting for first place absolutely does nothing. But it's just funny that you could do that. I swear to God. If I see people do that in my streams, we're never streaming again. Say what? I could be first. Sent DM Bueller on the bull flag thing. What do you call them? No, Keanu, go back and re-listen to my explanation. I'm not making fun of the term. I'm just explaining how everybody uses the term incorrectly nowadays. That's why you just don't see me use it. Because most people hear bull flag and they're like, "Oh, well, he's buying calls." It's like, no, it's not. It's not what a bull flag means. A bull flag is preemptive. You could still call them that. I'm saying most people do not use them the right way. They'll be like, "I'm getting in on this bull flag." I'll look at their chart and I just see green candles. I'm like, where do you see a flag? There isn't one. Nard says, "Say what? I could be first." They got me. No donate button. I tried. It's not there. Oh, super chat. Same thing. I'm fried. Yeah, no, don't do it. Don't. I hate that you even looked. But yeah, it's the super chat and super stickers. Do not do those, though. I think it would be cool to fight for those if it was the leaderboard was kept across every stream. Like if this leaderboard, how it is now, was in the next 200 streams. That would be cool. But it says it resets every stream, so that's kind of pointless. Like the leaderboard's kind of like a per stream thing. So activity-wise, cool. But they're literally one step away from being Twitch with what I just explained. If they were to add in the, well, make it every stream thing and do the donate to add to points thing, that would literally be Twitch. Which I'm kind of glad we're on YouTube now that all these ugly, dark things have been coming out about Twitch recently. I'm glad we're on YouTube. For everything YouTube has done bad to us, it's not even 10% on how bad Twitch is. I'm very glad we're on YouTube. I think the only better platform might actually be Kick, which is crazy to say. Because a couple years ago, you would have said that to me, I would have said you were on drugs. But it's slowly turning into Kick being one of the better platforms for streaming now, which is crazy. I liked short. Oh, wait. I liked the short when Open and PML switched from support to resistance. Waited for the retest. Ace Confluence gave you more confidence. That's good. So you were already kind of seeing a couple things, and you were like, I like this, I like that. And then you saw something else get popped up in chat, and you're like, you know what? I'm in. That's the kind of confidence you need to be kind of adding on to it, you know? Seeing your own things, and then, oh, Ace brought it up as well. Cool, I'm in. Or whatever, you know, whatever confluences you have. The worst thing YouTube did to us was taking away the download button. I've never recovered. I can't say this live, but you can still do it. But I understand what you mean. They also took down a lot of the download sites. You used to be able to just download stuff on sites, which you can still do it, but they actually took down a lot of the bigger ones. YouTube's been very adamant about the downloading thing right now. You can, yeah, no, I know what you mean. It's not the same. You literally used to be able to go to the URL, type in like SS something, SS dot or something, and then it would like download whatever quality you wanted. Yeah, they made it a lot less accessible now. I feel you on that one. Honestly, I think the biggest thing for streaming on YouTube that could be fixed is the amount of tools I have as a streamer. There's nothing here for me, and there never has been, right? I've always been able to create polls. We've always been able to type questions to each other. But there's nothing else beyond that. That's it. There's no other streaming tools. They really need to update it. They had no problem adding in a donate button. Why don't they add in some things that we could all interact with? Do we hold previous day control point, or do we continue to turn down? Let's see. Great question by Prop Street. This is the most key area right now near SPY. Great breakdown by Carter. Like, why am I in screen recording this whole thing? It really is like that, though. But I'd rather be on here where the YouTube CEO and like all like they're all weird and stuff, don't get me wrong, but they're not as weird as the Twitch people. The people who run Twitch, I don't know if you've ever seen clips of it, but there's like this old man basically who runs Twitch, and his entire feed is just like young women. Like all he does is watch young women stream. That's it. They glaze people who want terrorism in America, which is crazy. Like I don't know. Twitch is overboard for me. That one's a little too far gone. YouTube can be saved. $637.03, right? Sometimes I feel like TradingView gives me the wrong closing. Oh no, he meant this area right here. Nard. If you go from your low to your high, and you might want to also draw this as well, just because it might be a little different. Same reasoning for your close being different than mine. Go from your low to your high your previous day, and we're watching that halfway point. But yes, your close is there. You have that correct. That is your previous day close. But that previous day control point, PDCP, 50% of the previous day, it's just a fancy way of typing that. Is your most important area right now, PDCP. And the reason I have two here is because I found another fib that I added, but it's this area here though. That's why it reacted here. So basically, anytime you fall under previous day close or previous day high, it's very high probability that you're getting down to the halfway point of your previous day. Very high probability. If I had to put a number on it, I'd say 75-25. 75% that it is, 25% that it isn't. So very high probability that it most likely will. Any breakdown of this, and then you have your other barriers, your low, your open, any other levels you have from other reasonings maybe. In this case, we don't have any. So it's a good median to get down to. Below this, we go to that. Above this, we go to that. You know, it's almost always magneting, or a magnet to that PDCP. Oh, you're good, you're good. But yeah, just draw it from your low, whatever that is, on your chart, to your high, and then mark whatever your 50% is. The fib is just to help us draw it easier. But yeah, that's probably your most important level on the screen right now. Here, I'll delete everything. So main things to have. So I like to do this too, and I really hope all of you can understand this. Try to ignore the right side of the chart. Just ignore it for a second. So like have it to where you're only focused on your previous day's price action. And the reason you're doing this is because you want to be in the mindset of being able to go over things before the next day has started, right? So if I'm over here and I'm charting things, there's going to be a part of you that wants to do things a certain way because it's like, oh, well, look how it did this. It's like, why on God's green earth would you draw that level? You wouldn't. You would never draw that level. The only reason you're drawing it is because you see that it worked. So I don't like to do that. It's a little evil. So go over to your previous day. Okay, right there. And like that. Okay, so now we just have Friday in front of our eyes. So main levels you need to have every day. From low to the high. And then mark whatever your 50% is like you and me were going over. Which I'm off by an entire cent. Oh no. And sometimes you'll see me throw this up as a dotted line or an orange line, but regardless, you're going to see me add it. Why did I zoom out? Force a habit. And then your previous day low, previous day high. Right? We don't really have anything else to grab because your open is really close to your low. Your close is right there. We go into the next day. And this is why we were able to point out that the area between the high and the area between the previous day close was a buffer zone. Like, yes, you could take trades between here. We're not saying you couldn't. We're just saying that not as great of trades are going to be here, right? The beginnings of trades, the preparation, the setup of a trade is going to pop up between here most likely. That's why we call it the buffer zone. It's not like a real term or anything. It's just what it is. Between the high and the close because they're so tight together. So we understand that. So now we know outside of this area, we can look for longs if we get any good setups on top of that. So now we know, okay, well, 50-50, if I get anything out on top of that, now my probability increases that I get better plays to the upside. We got one decent move, failed. So it already kind of cut that to shit in the very first attempt. Now we need to see a lot more show up for me to be confident in buyers again. We didn't really get anything else. They popped up under again. So now I'm kind of getting that information before it's even happened. We understand there's some struggle here. We got back under it. We're seeing more struggle. I should already know that there's going to be more struggle probably occurring. Now, should you know this fat-ass red candle is going to appear? No. But you are expecting price to go towards previous day close because of this and because of this. But it all started with the struggle way back here where we thought we were going to be bullish. So it's just good to have levels you can have before the next day has started and levels that you can break down things from and be like, okay, well, this is where I was going to be bullish from. If it did this, I was going to be more bullish. If it does this, I was going to be not as bullish. It's going to break down possibly. And that's why Carter, good update by him, he's saying that if we do move down, we're probably going to go down here. And if we're going to sell off more, it needs to happen from here because this is the previous day halfway point. This is the only other notable level in the area. So in a way, this is what you look like. Give me a second. So in a way, this is pretty much where you're looking for your trades. You can look for moves outside of this and this. In between here, you understand you're mainly just picking up on information. These are probably where a lot of your beginnings are going to be, your setups, your retests are going to happen from. And then anything outside of that, anything lower, we can look for moves under this. You can even look for bounces because we understand this is a high impact area. As long as we're above it, we should be more bullish than bearish. As long as we're below it, we should be more bearish than bullish. Same thing as our open. It's a pivot point. We're under the open, but we're above the halfway point. So what can we expect? A lot of bullshit consolidation between, whoops, I thought I was on my other tool. Between here and here. And these are things you could have said and figured out before any of these candles appeared here today. Now it's up to the market to give you that opportunity. Is it always going to give you one? No. So you also need to be in the understanding that, okay, even if I get the most beautiful setup ever, I might not get follow through. That actually happened today twice. One to the upside, one to the downside. I'd say the downside got a little bit more follow through, but you didn't get any follow through. It didn't leave anything. We're still at this level. We're still under this level. We haven't gone anywhere. You know what I mean? So make sure you're drawing these high impact areas every day. And I'll do my best to repost them in the Discord as well. Just check out the levels channel and you'll see them in there. But yeah. And you'll sometimes see me draw these arrows, but I don't like to do them sometimes because like in this instance, you could see there's so many. You know, somebody might look at this and it might be overwhelming. But in reality, I'm just trying to make it a little easier to understand where you should and shouldn't be looking for trades based on levels we have every single day. So the levels aren't the problem. The setups aren't the problem. It's the execution. The greatest thing for the explanation. I had some of the same drawings except for the PDCP. That's fine. It's fine. But now you know. So and I generally have like levels of importance on them, Nard. Like I would say your most important levels every day are going to be your current day open for direction, your current day open, and your previous day control point. I would say these two levels are your most important levels every day, and they're 2 levels that you will have every day. So being bullish or bearish, below, above, doesn't matter. Where are they? Where's your price action at? Where's your positioning? If we're... I don't want to give you too many theoretical scenarios because you're going to find a fuck ton of them on your own as we move on day to day. So I don't want to overwhelm you, but these are your 2 most important pivot points of every day. And sometimes you'll see me say the previous day close, the previous day open as well. But you could see like how well spaced out they are every day. You know, and in some instances they're not. They're going to be really close. Does that ruin anything for you? No. That just shows that there's an area that's close together. So let's say these areas were close together. Like let's say previous day closes right here. Then sometimes you'll see me just highlight them both. Because I'm like, you know what? It's not just one or the other. It's both. I need to watch both areas. You know what I mean? Now I didn't do that today. We were just saying that this was a buffer zone between previous day high and the close. We were saying between here, we probably won't get a lot of crazy trades, but setups for trades will be in between here. And we were right, but a little hard to navigate today. It's not about being right either. You should never give a shit about being right or wrong. You're more or less trying to be correct on what you were assuming, on your preemptive conversation with yourself. Okay, well, I said if I was going to get down here and hold, I'd buy calls. I said if I struggled against here, I'd short, and if it picks up under this, I'll grab more, or maybe I'll scale out some because I'm starting to understand, oh, we're pulling back. I'm getting my move. You know, so it's also stuff like that. But yeah, every day, though, definitely have at least these couple levels marked. Your previous day open and close, your today's open, and then that fancy, which you said you already had all those marked. Your fancy previous day, halfway point. If you can get those, you'll have a 10 times better sense of direction every day. Then it just comes down to, oh, I like this lower high right here. I like this lower high right here. And then you go down to the 1 minute. And then you go and you try to find an actual candlestick pattern that gets you in. You know, that's fine. But now you have at least a setup or a system on how you're going to try to find better trades or better opportunities. And it's crazy. People have been trying to copy my system for years and reteach it to their people, and they never get it right. And they always fail. Their people always unsubscribe. And the reason is because they don't have the order of operations. They don't understand the whole priority thinking. Oh, this is my most important level every day. Oh, this is my other most important level every day. If I'm below this, I'm bearish. But I'm above this still. What am I? You know, people freak out because they see a scenario they didn't think was something they could plan out around. You know, you can plan around everything. Your answer just might not always be what you think it is. You know, some people think like, oh, well, I got to be bullish or bearish. There's also just not doing anything. There's also going to be an instance where, like today, we don't touch shit because there's a buffer zone that we just don't like, and there's too many setups popping up in between there. You know, it's about making the decision before the market's even open around those key high impactful areas. And then when it comes to acting on it, you should just be doing it. There should be no thinking involved. Because you already talked about this with yourself beforehand. That's why I like this the most. You can't really bullshit yourself. You can't bullshit a bullshitter with this system. Can't go broke taking profits 100%. So calls to today's open is a good scalp right now. Calls to today's open. No, because you got to use your context, right? If you were talking about like this right here, yeah, sure. But now we have other information, Nard. We see that we've broken down under today's open. We've retested away from it. We've moved down into this next area, moved down again. You know, so unless we're getting lucky and we're getting a better setup down here where there's consolidation made, then we shouldn't be looking for calls in today's open. What do we have here? We have a single candle reaction. This is still a downtrend under today's open. Yes, we're above the halfway point, but now that we're all the way up here, our positioning isn't that great, right? We only have so much room to today's open right here. So from here to here, is that really that great of a trade? Not really. It would have been better taken if we had done something down here. Did we have anything down here that could have gotten us in? I mean, you could sit there and bullshit yourself and say that you like this wick and that this was good enough for you to get in, but that's not good enough for me. I need more information first. I would say a better risk reward trade if you were just shooting in the wind right here, right now, which I wouldn't. It's already almost 11, which is getting almost close to the second phase of the day. You're getting to the part of the chart where it actually looks better for shorts. If you get up into this right here and you reject again right here, like this, or probably right here because this can be a lower high of that, then you have good risk reward for downside. But what else do we have in the way now? Previous day close. And what did we just do above previous day close? We just produced a fat ass green candle and then pushed back above it again. So we're kind of back into square one again like we were over here. We're in a buffer zone. I don't really like trades in between here right now. But you see how I'm using my recent context of like, oh, well, this just happened. So now I'm thinking this. Oh, well, this just happened. Now I'm thinking that. You got to use that recent context or it isn't helpful. Because if the day had started and we were like, yeah, calls from here to here look great. Sure, I would agree with you. But we're not at that part of the day. We're almost into lunchtime now. And we have made significant moves to the downside. I have that information now. I didn't have that earlier. So you got to also use your context. It's like reading a book left to right. You know, you're going to read this book. If I didn't read the book, right, I wouldn't understand what this is. But if I read the book, then it's like, okay, well, now I understand that this needs to happen for that to happen. It can't just do this on its own. You know what I mean? You got to use that recent context to make sense of what's happening around those key areas, right? You're not just marking random areas, and you're not just covering random movements now. Now you're actually tacking down the story of what's actually happening in front of you, and then you'll be able to feel out what are the better probabilities of what I can do next. Right now, you should probably be looking at shorts. But like I just explained, it's not really that comfortable because we're getting into the lunchtime part of the day, right? So, I don't know. Right now, not the greatest time. If that, then this. Exactly. Be conditional. If this, then I'm going to do that. If that happens, then I'm going to do this. If this happens, that should happen. If that happens, this should happen. Always covering it before anything. It's weird to talk about that out loud because it's like, it feels like something that you're only thinking about, but it is very a part of your trade. Also, draw fib from. Wait, I gotta read that again. Also draw from high of day to low of day, plus being in the no trade / information zone between previous day close, previous high. Price is betting / gathering its footing. Just need to sit tight and wait for more. Okay, that's what I thought you said. Honestly, I don't know why I was stuttering through that so hard. I think HOB threw me off, but I instantly knew what you meant. That's on me, Maddie. But yes, no, Maddie is right. Like he said, it's in the area where it's just kind of getting its information. It's getting its footing. That's a really good way of putting it. No, you're good, Maddie. That was me. I should have read through that. I went stupid for 2 seconds there. But no, Maddie has a good grip on that. Exactly. Also cool to see someone else type it out too, because it's like, all right, Nard, you see I'm not crazy? I know I'm not crazy, but you feel crazy when you talk about these things out loud, because it's like, you start to understand, you're like, wait a minute, this is actually really complex, but not at the same time. Like, first time explaining it, yeah, it doesn't really make sense. A couple times going through it, it's like, wow, this is actually super simple. But yeah, so I would definitely tie in like order of operations and the phases of the day into that, which gives you good context. Yeah, so this one, it's less than 7 minutes. This is a pretty good video, though. I'll just relink them. And then the order of operations in trading, part 1 and 2. I would say these will give you good insight on how to take advantage of the context in front of you. The phases of the day will also cut up the chart in a different way that you probably haven't seen. Which Ace has a really cool conversation on this too, because I didn't know that other people do this, but you can split up the day by times market closes, but you don't need to be hearing all this. But yeah, check it out though. I hope you enjoy those. I think that'll give you extra insight on what you were talking about too. But these are good. This is a good conversation though, Nard, and I actually really appreciate you for doing this. I know I'm just sitting here ranting and rambling, but these are really good conversations you're bringing up. Ace, I swear, the day I meet Ace is the day I commit murder in GTA. Oh, that's also a great thing too. Thank you, Dr. J, for throwing that in there as well. That's another great thing. See, that's why I'm glad you guys are here, because I'm just kind of like, I'm covering the gist of it, but I'm forgetting about some of the intricacies that he might run into later on. So think about this as well, Nard. What Dr. J just typed out. Like when we say calls to open, what does that fucking mean? Like, are we just buying calls and we're going to today's open and that's the only thing we see? Nope. Also, what's on the other side of that trade? What happens when we're wrong? And that's why you want to use these high impactful areas to trade against them or on top of them, so you can use them as your stop losses and your targets. So you want to also use them as that as well. Therefore, you can trust it. You're not sitting there going, well, I'm going to hold. It doesn't matter that I'm down 11% here. But you're under the level. Get out. You're only saying that because 11% isn't a lot. You wouldn't be saying that if you were down 30%, 40%. You know? People always just jump straight to the, well, I'm only down 11%. I'm only down this percent, blah, blah, blah. It's like, but you're under the area you said you were bullish above. What the fuck? You're wrong. You know? Got it. Excuse my language, by the way. But not really at the same time. Make sure you also know where you plan to stop. Not saying you didn't do that. Just personally, I've been more heavily focused on risk management. No. Dr. J, that was good. That was a good add-on. Because you were right. I only talked about buy this and then just sell. You'll always be good. Like, no, there's also the ugly side of it. What happens when you're wrong? How do you know that? How do you preemptively plan that and plan around that and make it to where you're not losing 30, 40, 50% every trade when you are wrong? Because with a good strategy like this one, you should technically be wrong more than right and still be break-even / profitable, right? So imagine a scenario where you're right more than you're wrong, right? It's going to almost be impossible to lose money over the long run. I said almost impossible. I'm sure there's someone out there who could make that possible. Stop loss at 600. Seeing the price 637 and saying SL 600 is crazy. Ace, how's your day so far today? Not just trading, your general day. How's everything? How's everything going over there in the world of Ace Ventura? My bro got Twitter famous, man. It's crazy. He's more famous than me on Twitter now. Which isn't saying much. Yo, thank you, Keanu, for tweeting that. Like a glove. Spank you very much. Bro, I to this day still say the like a glove line. That movie has, I mean, both of those movies have way too many lines that are really, like, memorable. Like a glove. I wish I could say it like he does, though. Spank you. I'll never forget, honestly, one of my favorite Ace Ventura scenes is when he like parks that car. And it's in the one where they're in the forest or the jungle or whatever. And there's like the elephant and all that stuff, and he like does all these crazy moves and he somehow parks the car perfectly. It was the most Scooby-Doo scene ever, but it was with real stuff. But yeah. And see, Nard, look at that too, like the buffer zone. It looks like you were right and I was wrong so far on that. What should you be doing if we were randomly taking a trade right here? But also kind of adding into the opposite of that too. Like, what if you had said what I had said and I had said what you had said? We'd both be wrong, you know? The buffer zone, again, just kind of showing us this isn't really a great spot to be taking a trade. If you're already in one, sure. But getting into a new one, not really great. But it looks like you would have been right out of the two of us, though. The movement up, because technically you were right, because, yeah, in order from here to here. So, I wanted you to know that. DM'd you. Oh, DM doing good. My bad. Oh my god. Yeah, you're doing real good. You're making that one day not exist. I know you know what day I'm talking about. I love Ace. I need to send you another Counter-Strike skin. Oh, I forgot to tell you my brother started playing. My youngest brother. I can't wait to talk to Ace later. And then he's going to be like, yo, bro, sorry, I got a sandwich and I ate and I took a nap and I'm going to sleep, man. Good night. How did everyone sleep, by the way, in stream? How did everyone sleep last night? I think I had a top 10 sleep last night, not even joking. Went to bed at a normal time. I didn't wake up that much. And I woke up on time. Might have been a top 10 sleep for me last night. I don't even know if I've yawned on stream a single time either. Just to further add on to how good that sleep was. Maybe I'll turn some music on now. Real quick, one last little scumbag advertisement for you all. Be sure to... Where the fuck is my... There it is. Be sure to check out my Twitter. You don't really need to be following me, I'll be honest. I don't really post on here. But you guys should definitely check out... where is his name? Wait, what's going on here? It just said Ace and Keanu are muted. Is my Twitter fucked? Okay. I refreshed and now you're both not muted. That's weird as fuck. What was I saying? Oh, check out Ace's Twitter. If you guys even use this stupid app or website or whatever. Twitter or X. Definitely cool post. He's got a lot of free indicators on here from stuff like my stuff to stuff that is nowhere near like my stuff. So definitely check it out. And yeah. I always like to promote my boys. Let me see if it does that again. It did. Why does it do that? I refresh and then you're not muted. Ace and KT. That is so weird. It has both of your names as muted on my Twitter, but I go to my mutes and there's no one there. Huh? I think my Twitter is fucked up. I'll check on that in a little bit. But yeah, check that out. And then if you guys are on YouTube and you have the membership, check it out. A lot of cool stuff in there. There's actually closer to 200 videos in here now, not 95. That's a great thing YouTube did to us there. And if you guys have access, let me see who has access to this. Here it is. If you're a member in my YouTube, if you're a member in my Discord, to pretty much any extent, basic and up, you have access to this. I highly recommend it. There's an introduction video, which I never do. And these are all about 3 months old now, but there is a lot of information here. It's almost 4 hours of information. And you can see the description here. It's a lot of just going through like the basics of things and then the theoretical thinking behind everything. Why do we look at trend from current day open? Why do we look at gaps? Why do we look at, these breaks from these certain areas? Why do we mark just these certain areas? PEMDAS, awareness, the 3 phases of the day. This is probably my favorite one. I'd say my second favorite one is probably trend from current day open, and then overnight gaps by Leland is definitely up there. And then I added on a second video to that because this was like the old video I just re-put up with his breakdown, and then I added my own kind of added on breakdown that just kind of talks a little bit more onto it, but it just kind of recovers the points really. Halfway points, simple versus complex levels, summary of everything we covered so far. Just definitely check this out. If you have access to this, you're missing out if you haven't already watched it. I've seen a pretty good number of you already have, considering only members have access to this. So a lot of you already have seen it. But it's not a bad one to go and rewatch because it might be the most advanced playlist of this YouTube, which isn't saying much because it's not like we sit here and go over the most advanced things. We're not rocket scientists. We're just marking levels and coming up with ways that we've backtested that we think work the best, right? No one's sitting here saying we're going to make you rich, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. No one's saying that. That video was great. Gathered as much information as I can before I enter a trade. Exactly. Kind of using what you have before, your context clues, and then making the best probability you can, trade you can. It's not really guessing. It's like, yeah, what I said. Educated. Top tier tip, don't sit on your hands. Get someone else to sit on your hands. More fun that way. I don't know why I thought that was going another way. I kept reading it going, wait, it's going to make a right turn. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy that too, because I took a lot of time on that stuff, and then I know some of the leaders in chat have already gone through it a bunch, so I'm not pushing them to go through it a bunch. But anybody in here who feels like they're struggling or needs better help on those impactful levels, like that playlist is literally meant for you. Maybe I need to repost it. Is that what I need to do on the Discord? Let's see. Playlists. Default playlists. Copy. Cool. Well, thank you guys for all the likes. How was the stream today? Hopefully it was decent. I haven't been doing this in like a couple weeks, so I was a little rusty, but I think I did fine. It's 11 though. I think I am going to end it here soon, but if we have any questions or comments, or if anybody wants to say anything here at the end, this is your time. But yeah, let me know. What was the feedback like? What was the stream like? Anything bad? Anything good? Hopefully nothing bad. Ace. He said, eh. Hold up real quick. Let's see. What was the leaderboard like here? Trying to make it to where you guys don't have to see the... There you go. Top fans. Let's see here. Dr. J tied with Ace at second place, which it looks like Dr. has first. Apparently D is before A in the alphabet. I don't understand this. I really don't. But you know what? We're going to move on. What was the poll like? Let's end the poll. 69% of you traded. And then, of course, when losing makes sense, winning makes dollars. Again, kind of just dropping that stoic advice from Dr. J. I'm a rigger? Whoa, bro. Rigged. We were one letter away from a very bad message there. Erasing that sounds... Yeah, it felt racist saying it, I'll be honest. Even though it had no racism involved in it. It's just one of the sentences. Yeah, no, I got you. I appreciate you instantly retracting that. How do you even get XP? It says you have to type and all this dumb shit, but I really don't understand it. It says, a place for fans to stay on the community. The top 3 get 3 special badges in the live chat. It resets every stream, so you can always try again. Lame. How do you get on the leaderboard? You need to collect experience points or XP. Here's how you get them. Don't read this one. It's really just this one. So it looks like just typing is it. That's pretty basic, I guess. I think this is their way at trying to make people type more, but I think it's stupid when it's so easy to take the crown from one another. Also, I don't like it because it could have been... If they had done it to where it was over every stream, I think that would be sick. Because then Dr. J could sit there and be like, dude, I'm your top guy over the last 2 years. Like, that would be a flex. But just saying you got first in a stream that's like 3 hours long isn't really a flex, you know? Late to the party today, so just watching, chilling. Good to have you back. Dude, it's good to see you, Carter. Thank you for being here. I know I've been kind of not here at all. But I appreciate everybody being in here and showing that support. Not treating me like shit. Y'all could have definitely said some shit to me, but everybody had open arms for me, so I do appreciate that. Y'all could have bullied me and you didn't, and I'll remember that. I'll remember. Special badges, I'm special. I deleted some of the emotes too. I can add some more. I think I have like 5 or 6 extra slots we can throw in here. We got Leland. We got all the Bueller Buys ones. We got some of the best laughing faces ever. We got Jerome Powell. If anybody comes with other ideas, we could add some. Oops. But yeah, if you guys have any questions or comments, let me know. If not, though, I'm going to end the stream there. I do appreciate it. Thank you guys again. We got over 120 clicks on today's stream, which is crazy. We don't really do promotion or ads or anything. Almost 30 likes, which is pretty much most everybody who actually joined the stream. So, again, just kind of, again, throwing out how cool you guys are. You guys could have totally bashed me and you didn't. So I do appreciate that. And we didn't have anything except great comments, updates, questions in here. I really don't remember anybody saying anything stupid. Everybody, for the most part, and when I say stupid, I mean rude. I don't actually mean like on an intellectual level. But yeah, I think everybody was doing great today, regardless of how y'all's results are today, though. I do appreciate the comments, the questions, everything we threw out in between. I'm glad Nard, too. I'm really happy Nard came in here. Maybe I'll go cut up part of the stream and make that a video or something, but I really liked when you came in here and started making me talk about the impactful levels and the thinking in between and all that stuff, and just trying to keep it simple, because you really could just draw these 4 levels, and that's it every day, and you'd be fine. Of course, there's other levels you can draw. We've got the emergent candles to add on top of that. But when we're up here at all-time highs, it's not really that helpful. You know, we don't really have emergent candles to go off of. You know, so there's other methods that need to be consistent that also work. And we have those. So it's just about getting them under your belt slowly over time and stuff like that. But for short term, though, you guys should be fine. Short term, this is great because more people are going to be scared to trade and you're not. That's great for you. So I hope we get some more movement in the market soon. I don't know about up or down days, but it sure feels like we're getting tired. But it feels like we're on these euphoric highs where the only thing holding us back is interest rates now. Like nothing else is holding us back. Trade deals, nothing. So I feel like we have more to lose than more to gain now that we're up here, if that makes sense. Which is good and bad, I guess. But yeah, if you guys have anything else you want to add in here too, go into the Discord, and we have the trade floor. You have all these cool areas in the chat to post things. I'm on the wrong channel. Don do. But trade floor, post charts, be sure to let us know what's going on. Now that I'm here, maybe we can all join in and help Mike and Frankie and all these guys in chat who have been super, super, super active every day in here, even without me here. So maybe we'll, yeah, get some good plays posted. If you guys are in premium, be sure to check out that as well. There's not as many channels as here. It's more or less just like, what's up? But yeah, so hope you guys have a great rest of your day. If you guys have anything else, let me know. But I'm going to post the polls message into the day, so just let me know. But yeah, sorry for all the yapping. I'm just losing my voice all of a sudden. Glad your dog teeth are feeling better. Thanks for streaming. I am not going to trade today, but under 637, 27 to 19 would be good for puts, right? Let me look. Yes. If you get breakdowns of this area, yes. Keeping this low in mind as well, Nard. But yes. To answer your question, yes. Stream whenever you feel like. Every time it's great. I know, but I feel like I always do y'all dirty. Like I have like this year I've been really bad about it. I've been off and on. Every other year I've been fine. So I'm kind of cutting myself slack because I have been so consistent, but I'm going to be better about it. We're going to start streaming more again. But thank you guys again. Again, I fucking love you guys. Thank you for the stream. Thank you for everything. And I hope you have a good rest of your day. If you guys have any more updates, go into the Discord. Just throw in whatever. It doesn't matter if there's just 2 people typing. Just throw it in there. Conversate. Engage. But I'll see you guys later on. Why am I about to close my charts? I meant to close the stream. I'll see you guys later. Have a good rest of your day.